What's going on, guys, and welcome back. My name's Jordan. I'm a technician at Hall Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And in the next couple of videos that I'm going to be releasing is going to be all about the fun stuff that these cars can do. And because of that, we're going to kick this one off with the most important thing, and that's going to be something called race prep. So what is race prep and why is it important in the performance applications? Well, what race prep aims to do is optimize your high voltage battery temperatures. What that's going to do for you in a drag race setting is it's going to increase your battery temperatures so that way we can discharge that battery faster and get maximum power output. In the track application, we're going to try and keep this battery as cool as possible. That way you can get as many laps in before the car decides I'm too hot and I'm tired of this. So it is important, especially guys who are hitting the track and hitting the drag strip. You should be doing this before every heat. I've seen quite a few 0 to 60 times that didn't quite hit the mark, but I don't think those vehicles were ever race prep. So again, if you want to have fun in this car, we have features here built in to help you, and I would definitely take advantage of them. Now, there are at least two things that you're going to need to race prep your Dodge Charger Daytona EV. You're going to need access to at least a level 2 charger or a level 3 charger. Level 1 chargers, unfortunately, aren't supported at this time. Plus, the level 1 charger is pretty much useless at this point. It takes 7-8 business days to charge these cars on level 1. So level 2 or level 3 will get your battery race prepped. I'm going to recommend a level 3 charger, as this is the quickest and most fastest efficient way to do it, especially if you're in between heats at the track and you want to make sure that you got your battery charged and prepped, ready for the next run. So to start race prepping, you're going to need to first hook up your charger. And then we'll be able to go inside and access the race prep menu. So once you have your vehicle connected to a level 2 or level 3 charger, you're going to come inside, head to the radio, and on the side icon, you're going to hit vehicle. Once vehicle's loaded up, you're going to find here on the dashboard at the top, race options, performance pages, and your drive modes. We're going to head over to race options. In race options, you're going to find race prep, launch control, and your drift and your donut mode. But let's go ahead and race prep. Once race prep is selected, you have two different options. You can prep for the drag race or you can prep for the track. Prepping for the drag race is going to help increase battery temperatures. We want to warm that battery up so that way it's as efficient as possible, so that way we can really nail in those accelerations in 0 to 60 time. Track prepping, however, is going to focus on keeping the battery cool. After multiple laps at the track, the last thing we want is that battery to stay hot, and maintaining a lower temperature is going to help increase efficiency in that aspect. Now over to the side, you're going to see a graph. We've got our time until race ready. We've got our current battery temperatures. And out at the bottom, you're going to see 3 check marks. These are the enabling factors that help, that make sure that race prep is enabled. You've got your battery level, ambient temp, and system health. All of these have to have a green check mark in order for race prep to start. So I've got my 3 green check marks. I'm going to select track mode because we're about to go rip on this thing later today. And now we're going to activate race prep. Now, an important thing about this is you are not going to have any climate control. We're diverting all life support to the battery, so be prepared to be hot while you're in race prep, because it's going to get warm. Like I said, everything is being diverted. And you're also going to get these warning messages here. Once active, all climate features, scheduled charging, cabin conditionings are inhibited to accelerate prepping. Re-enabling these features may affect prepping time. So technically, I probably could sit here with the AC running and trying to prep, but it will take forever. Prepping for a track race is only supported via 240 level 2 and a prolonged time until ready. So again, I recommend the level 3 and a note saying that level 1 AC charging is not supported. So we can exit out of this menu. So here we can see now with me race prepping, I met all the preconditions. And I've got some target temperatures here. I can't exactly see that target temperature. I'm going to say that it's probably right around 100 degrees. And I'm right around 103 degrees. And also have time until ready, which is about 42 minutes. Now this will probably take a little bit longer than your average level 3 charge up, especially being me right around 60% state of charge. But once this completes, it's going to give me a notification, and we're going to be prepped and ready to roll. And yeah, be prepared, because with the climate control disabled, it's cooking in here. It's hot as hell in Virginia Beach right now. And with our 41 minutes left to go, I'm gonna be pretty hot by the time we get done with this. And while you're race prepping, you may also see your vehicle doing a couple of things that it normally doesn't do while connected to a level 3 charger. Right now, My cooling fans are screaming. It's doing its job to help ramp some of these temperatures up. And, you know, again, normally in level 3, this wouldn't happen unless you were inside with the AC on. But as you guys can hear, you know, she sounds like a jet engine right now. But that's okay. It's designed to do that. Don't be an alarm. We're also going to hear the contactors inside the high voltage battery. I'm sure you may have noticed as well, while sitting in a level 3 charger, those things clicking, but they are really going to town right now during race prep. So just be aware of that and don't freak out because your car is doing things that it normally doesn't do. It is by design once you're in race prep. And it looks like we're ready to rock and roll here. We have currently hit our maximum battery state of charge of 100%. We're within our current temperature thresholds that it would like us to see. The car is race prepped. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy. It's just a waiting game of sitting here and letting it do its thing. Aside from that, it's not a lot of work. It's definitely worth doing. So yeah, you know, race prep is easy. You know, it's something that I definitely think that you should take advantage of an owner if you are going to be doing anything performance oriented with this vehicle. Now, aside from the charge time and the heat that you're going to have to suffer through because their climate control has been deactivated, it's worth it in my opinion. So do me a favor though, you know, if you own one of these vehicles and you've taken it to the track, let me know if you've been using race prep. Let me know your 0 to 60 time down below. I'm just curious the correlation of it being used and not being used, because the information that I've got from David Carr and some of the other people who are using this in performance applications, race prep does help quite a bit, especially with your 0 to 60 times. And don't forget to please hit subscribe and then hit the notification bell because this month's videos are going to be very fun. They're performance oriented. That's why we're out here doing race prep today. We've got the gap cam. It's going to be some good stuff. You know, I wish I had a better film crew to do some of the fun things that I would love to do. Unfortunately, I don't. But I hope these videos help you as an owner. You know, I want you guys to have just as much fun in your cars that I'm having in mine. This thing is a blast to drive, bugs and all. I don't care what anybody says. You know, this is somebody who was coming out of a 2004 Jeep TJ, and you know, they're just not as bad as people say. My particular car has been very good to me. You know, there was a lot of kinks in the beginning, but nothing major. And we're finding that with other owners like Socket Monkey Garage or Hellcat Honey or Auto Auction Rebuilds. They all own Stage 2 Scat Packs, and their vehicles aren't really having the issues that they were post the update that came in April. Now RTs, separate story. Those things, you know, witchcraft voodoo, you know, it takes chicken bones to fix them. Whatever's going on up there in Michigan, you know, hopefully they get that stuff situated pretty quickly. But the one to have right now is the Scat Pack. That's the best one, that's the most fun one, and that's the one that's given the least amount of problems. That's not to say that they won't ever have problems. Working at the dealership, I see a lot of stupid stuff from all of our cars. This thing's the least of our concern right now. You know, it's just software. We've got some pretty crazy stuff going on with other vehicles that is going to get expensive really fast. This one's not it. But yeah, you know, so again, I hope these videos help you guys get the most out of your car. Go out, have as much fun as I'm having, roast the tires off these things, slide them around, launch them, have a good time. You know, this is what you guys are paying for. So again, if you like this video, please do me a favor, give me a like, a comment, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, guys.